Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. It's been an interesting day today. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up with a little beat-em-up action though, as we're going to step into a game of Marvel Champions by Fantasy Flight. This is a game I've been hesitant to stream, but looking at a glance here, I think we can probably set it up just fine. The layout here does look pretty good. But this one dumps us into control of up to 1 to 4 heroes in the Marvel comic universe, trying to defeat a villain in that. We'll go ahead and meet our tandem of ladies tonight, then we'll meet our villain, then we'll be ready to get into this playthrough. So, first up, let's go ahead and meet our first heroine tonight, who will be our first player. We've got Jean Grey, flips into Phoenix, but we'll talk more about that when she flips in. Hand size of 6, 9 HP, which I've got the dial down here to represent. Recovers for 3 with an extra effect. Setup, put Phoenix Force into play, restrained side face up with 4 power counters on it. And then the response, after you make a basic recovery, place 1 power counter on Phoenix Force. So let's go through Phoenix Force. Permanent, you gain the restrained trait, Forced response. After the last power counter is removed from here, flip. Okay, so we've got the 4 counters there ready to go. And as you can probably guess by the sleeves and the mat, we are debuting a new heroine on the channel. We'll be debuting Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, but we'll see what she flips into later, and I apologize for the glare there. Hand size of 6, 10 hit points. Recovers for 3. Superpowered Siblings, as an action, discard 2 cards from your hand to draw 2 cards, 3 instead if Pietro Maximoff is in play, limit once per round. And of course I've got Nemesis sets down there, Nemesis and encounter sets underneath there. And tonight the 2 of them, I should also mention that the deck lists I'm using are in the description down below. The villain we're taking on tonight is Red Skull. Schemes for 2, attacks for 0 with an effect. And the effect here is Red Skull gets +1 attack for each side scheme in play. Freedom is only for the one who rules. All others must be slaves. We'll take a look at his main scheme, and then he does have a side scheme already in play that we'll have to go through. So we'll go through a little bit of the story first. The Rise of Red Skull. Actually, this is all set up, which I've done already. The Rise of Red Skull. We need 8 per player or 16. Red Skull plans to conquer the world with the power of the Reality Stone. He uses his strategic genius to keep you busy while he works toward his goal. Forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, which is placing the initial threat, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. I'm actually going to grab, there's a reference sheet that I normally use with Marvel Champions. Opening closet door. Closing closet door, since I was able to find it in one. I'll fish that out, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go with that. So we've gone through that, and then we've got the Red House, which is the side scheme that's in play. That starts off in play. Right? Yes, put the Red House into play. Starts off with 3 per player or 6 threat. Red Skull built his fortress over the White House as a symbol of Hydra's conquest over America. Red Skull can't take damage. Interrupt. When a player thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. And of course, we've got 6 out there right now. 6 threat up there on the main scheme. Again, 3 per player. So I think with that, we're all set to get into this one. So let's jump in. Phoenix, as you might be able to see by the marker here, is going to be our first player. I'm not completely happy with her hand, but I think we can work with it. So she is, first of all, going to flip into Phoenix. So let's take a look at how she flips. So Jean Grey will flip into Phoenix. Thwarts for 3, attacks for 2, thwarts for 3, attacks for 1, defends for 2. Psionic Bond, hero resource. Remove 1 counter from Phoenix Force to generate a wild resource, limit once per phase. So Phoenix could actually go ahead and thwart that right now, and I think we're going to. So we'll start off by thwarting the side scheme for 3. Then we're going to spend into the fray since there are no minions. Actually, yeah, that's fine. We'll spend into the fray to play Phoenix Firebird. As a hero action, we can choose. Either remove a power counter from Phoenix Force to ready Phoenix, or place 2 power counters on it. We're going to remove a power counter from Phoenix Force to ready Phoenix, and then we're going to thwart for another 3 to get rid of the red house, which means Red Skull will be able to take damage, and that's discarded to the encounter discard pile. So we've gotten rid of that already, which means Phoenix, once we actually are able to find some good cards, will be able to do some serious damage. With the rest of her turn, I'm going to spend a counter from Phoenix Force for Psionic Bond, and pay Genius out for another 2 resources. To play out Rise from the Ashes as an interrupt. When you would be defeated, remove this card from the game, ready your identity, and restore it to its printed hit point value instead. Remove each power counter from Phoenix Force. So we've got that, and there's nothing else Phoenix is going to do. She's got resources, so she will sit tight. Which means now Scarlet Witch will come into play. Let's go ahead and flip her into... Let's go ahead and flip Wanda Maximoff into Scarlet Witch. Thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, defends for 2. Actually, before we do that, do I want to use her ability? Actually, let's do this instead. We're going to pay a magic shield to play out Agatha Harkness. As an alter ego action, we can exhaust Agatha Harkness to look at the top 3 cards of her deck. Add 1 of those to her hand and place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Don't let your anger get the best of you, Wanda. So we'll put that down there. I'm going to open the other closet door because there are tokens that I normally have. Closing closet door. There are tokens I normally use with the Arkham Horror Files games, but some of these brass-backed tokens work very well for my purposes. So I'm going to grab an exhaustion marker so I can exhaust Agatha Harkness. We'll grab the top 3 cards of her deck. And I think here I want... let's take... Okay. We are going to take... Can I pay for that? One of these will probably be a resource dump, most likely. But I will take a Hex Bolt. So we'll take a look at Hex Bolt. 2 resources to play that. Hero action, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each card discarded this way, that has boost icons equal to 0, deal 2 damage to an enemy. 1, remove 2 threat from a scheme. 2, draw a card. 3 plus, place a status card on a character. Now we're going to flip Wanda Maximoff into Scarlet Witch. Thwarts for 2, attacks for 1, defends for 2. Cast, control, interrupt. When boost icons on an encounter card would be counted, discard the top card of the encounter deck and count the number of boost icons on that card instead. Limit once per phase. Okay. She will... we're going to pay Passion for Justice and... what are we going to play here? There's no threat on the main scheme. I might as well take advantage of it. We're going to pay Passion for Justice and Turn the Tide to play out Pivotal Moment. Hero action as an attack. Deal 2 damage to the villain. 5 instead if there's no threat on the main scheme. This isn't quite what I had in mind, but I'll take it. Rocket Raccoon. Since there is no threat on the main scheme, Red Skull will take 5 and we'll make that 6 because Scarlet Witch will go ahead and attack for 1. So that will bring Red Skull down to 18. I did forget to mention that Red Skull has 12 per player attack. So that's a pretty quick round. We'll go ahead and flip everybody over. We'll go ahead and reset everything. Phoenix is happy with her hand, so she'll draw 3 cards. I really want to get some stuff to do with all those resources. Okay. Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind. Scarlet Witch will keep her hand as well and draw 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yep. All right, so now we go into the villain phase. Let me just grab an official timing document out here. But I'm pretty sure step 1 of the villain phase is the aforementioned putting threat on the main scheme. And of course, it's not in here. What about in the learn to play? Why on earth would there not be an official timing reference on these phases? Appendix 2 setup, that's not what I want. That's a little annoying. Hang on for just a second while I see if I can find an official timing chart. Let's see if there's something on the Geek with that, but I'm pretty sure step 1 of the villain phase is the aforementioned threat, but I need to know that for Red Skull, so I know when I need to put so I know when to put the so I know, okay, Marvel Champions rules summary. Basically, I need the timing chart is what I'm looking for here. Place threat. Okay. So that is the first step of that. All right, so we get 2 on the main scheme. And then we get a new side scheme. So our new side scheme is Mass Chaos. Red Skull creates catastrophes across the country to keep his enemies busy. When revealed, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck and places 1 threat here for each different type of resource icon they discarded this way. Yikes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phoenix will be discarding 2 different resource icons and some stuff I'm not happy to see her Psychic Blasts go at all. Or her No Quarters, for that matter. And then Scarlet Witch will also discard the top 5 of her deck. Hey Jester, welcome in. I saw you were just finishing up with Payoff Pitch. I was getting this ready while you were finishing up with that. Scarlet Witch is discarding 2 different as well, so we get 4 threat up on Mass Chaos. Unfortunately, it's also got a Crisis icon on it, which means we have to thwart that first, right? Yes, we can't thwart the main scheme. Now, Hero activates. He will be activating against Phoenix with an attack of 1+ card. Phoenix will say, bring it on. So we'll count the boost icons, and here we will have 2. So Phoenix will actually take 3, going down to 6. And then Scarlet Witch will also be getting attacked against. She will say, bring it on as well. So she's taking 1+ card, 1+... 1 is 2 threat, or 2 damage. So Scarlet Witch goes down to 8. And then we deal out encounter cards. First up for Phoenix we find Hydra Jet Trooper. Schemes for 2 attacks, or schemes for 0, attacks for 2, 3 health, quick strike. The boost doesn't matter. So Phoenix will, yikes. Do I want her to take this damage? I don't think we have a choice on that. So, actually, she will defend to cancel out 2 of that and go down to 4. Or cancel out 2 of that. Yeah, 2 of that go down to 5. I can't do first grade math tonight, apparently. And then Scarlet Witch's encounter card. Red Skull's Late Luger. Scheme +1, attack +1, attached to Red Skull. Red Skull's attacks gain piercing and ranged. Hero action, spend an energy, mental, and a combat resource to discard that. Yikes. Okay, that's not great. Fortunately, Scarlet Witch becomes our first player, and if we don't mind doing anything, actually, we could cancel that, but I think we're going to sit tight on the cancel, because I'd rather have that for something like a Shadows of the Past. So, I think with that in mind, we... Yikes. You know what? I think we are going to go ahead and get rid of that now. So I'll spend combat, energy, and mental resource to get rid of the Luger, because I really don't want to be dealing with that right away. Scarlet Witch will then... She'll then ping the Jet Trooper for 1. I'm expecting Phoenix is going to need to flip this turn anyway. That's not the one I want. Phoenix is probably going to be flipping this turn anyway. I think Scarlet Witch will be flipping as well. And I want to keep her hand clear, so I don't want to discard anything. Red Skull's a pretty serious villain. No joke, surprised I'm taking him on. Well, I wanted to debut a new villain on the channel, plus I wanted to debut Scarlet Witch as well. So I'm going to have to take this on eventually. I'm going to have to take him on eventually anyway. So that's what we're doing here. Anyway, coming over to Phoenix, I think her first order of business is going to be paying Power of Aggression to play out Spider-Girl. We do get to double the cost of resources when we're paying for an aggression, because this is an aggression card. Thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, takes 1 consequential damage back either way. Response: after you play Spider-Girl from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. Alright, you bunch of losers. Who wants a piece of me? Well, I think we're... Stunning and confusing the Hydra Trooper... Well, is that a waste at this point? It will keep him from scheming against us this turn. So I think we're actually going to have Spider-Girl... We gotta work on some of these side schemes, too. You know what I think we're going to do here? I think we're going to play a Strength to play a Telepathic Trickery. As a hero action, remove 4 threat from a scheme. If you have the Unleashed trait, which we don't, stun and confuse an enemy. They can't see us because I won't let them. Phoenix. So we remove 4 threat from Mass Chaos to keep that clear. Then I can point Spider-Girl at Red Skull for 2 damage to bring him down to 16. Spider-Girl will take 1 consequential damage back. And then Phoenix is going to flip back. Yep, she's going to flip back into Jean Grey. I might not need to be too concerned with dying here with Phoenix, because she does have Rise from the Ashes active. But I think that's it for them, so they will reset. Wanda Maximoff is happy with her hand, so she will draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Not completely garbage, just mostly garbage at this point. And then Phoenix has chased them down in hand, which she will discard that and draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Alright, we can probably work with this. Alright, Red Skull gets 2 at the start of his turn, and we reveal a new side scheme, so here we will reveal the Sleeper Awakened. Oh no. Rising from the Potomac River, the Sleeper is awakened to answer the Red Skull's summons. This scheme can't leave play while the Sleeper is in play. When revealed, put the Sleeper into play engaged with the first player. When the Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. So the Sleeper, we got our first look at him. Schemes for 1, attacks for 3. Guard, retaliate 1, toughness. So he comes in with a tough card. 5 per player, so yikes, we're getting him very early. When revealed, he engages the first player, which right now is Scarlet Witch, and when defeated, remove the Sleeper from the game. So he's got 10 health on him. Alright, then he will be then Red Skull will scheme against Scarlet Witch, scheming for 2+. Boost, which is exhaust a character you control. That's unfortunate, so we exhaust... Actually, I believe our identity would count as a character. Let me double check that. Let's see. Character, heroes, alter egos, allies, minions, and minions are all characters. Yep. Okay, so Wanda ends up being exhausted. I believe if we flip that... I believe if we flip Wanda into Scarlet Witch like we probably are this turn, that does go away. So that's another 2 threat up for Red Skull. And then Phoenix also is going to be schemed on for 2+. 3 is 5, and I'm not sorry to see that go away at all. That's Scarlet Witch's obligation. And then Sleeper will scheme for another 1. And the Hydra Jet Trooper is confused, so he won't scheme. He would scheme for 0 anyway, but he does initiate the scheme. That's 12 threat out of 16. We've got problems here. So we deal out encounter cards next. Scarlet Witch will find. Advance. When revealed, the villain schemes. The world will be mine. Red Skull. Oh, delightful. Plus, there's also the issue, too, of this being kind of a layout test for me. Then the way this is going, I think we're getting the layout test out of this. So Red Skull will scheme for 2+. Another 2 is going to be 4, and that will be enough to advance this scheme. Jeez Louise. Alright, so we've already got New World Hydra. The Red Skull is 1 step closer to unlocking the full power of the Infinity Stone. You need to stop him before he does, and all reality is bent to his evil will. When revealed, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. But this... Alright, so we'll do that first. We'll reveal Hydra Reinforcements. What Hydra lacks in skill, they make up for with sheer numbers. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. 4th threat on that one. And we deal out extra encounter cards with that one. Yeah, this is not going to take too long at all. At some point, I am going to have to I am going to have to defeat him anyway, so I figured, why not tonight? Well, here's a pretty good reason why not tonight. This flips into 11 per player, so 22, and it starts with 2. Forced response. We have the same forced response as before. If this scheme is completed, the players lose the game. Delightful. So we get 2 threat on that right away. And then Phoenix's encounter card. Spreading Lies. When revealed, so Treachery. When revealed, place 2 threat on each scheme in play. Yikes. So New World Hydra's up to 4 already. And now we've got 6 on Hydra Reinforcements. That's problematic. First player moves over to Phoenix. Let's see what we can do with this. How about... How about we start by flipping... Well, I don't... If possible, I didn't want to defeat the Hydra Jet Trooper with Spider-Girl. Actually, that might be fine here. We might have to use Spider-Girl. That was a very rough turn. Didn't help that he schemed through that first scheme about like that, which is not helpful at all. So I think we are going to have to bite the bullet. We'll lose Spider-Girl in the process, but we will take out the Hydra. Actually, would we rather aim at the Hydra Jet Trooper, or do we want to aim at the Sleeper? That might be a better idea, to try to take out the Sleeper here. What to do? We also have the problem of that Hydra reinforcements dealing out extra encounter cards. Yeah, we're very much in a bind here. I think both of us are flipping, though, this turn. So I think we are going to use Spider-Girl to take out this Hydra Jet Trooper. This might be a mistake, but we're probably already up against the wall as it is. Then I'm going to have Jean Grey heal for 3, which will put a counter on Phoenix Force. I'll get back to that once I set Phoenix's health up to 8. There's the counter going on Phoenix Force. She will then flip into Phoenix. Then I think we're going to play... We're not going to be... So that deals 5 damage to a minion. That would just cut his health in half. But I think what we're going to do here is we're instead going to pay 1 from Phoenix Force and a 1/1 to put a telekinetic shield on Scarlet Witch. That attaches to a friendly character. Forced Interrupt. When an attached character would take damage from an enemy attack, place that damage here instead. Then, if there's 5 damage on this card, discard Telekinetic Shield. Alright, so we're giving Scarlet Witch a shield. Then we're going to... We haven't used the... We have paid the Phoenix Force counter, so never mind that. I think we're going to pay a Relentless Assault to play Phoenix Firebird. So we'll remove a power counter from Phoenix Force to ready Phoenix, and then we're going to thwart Hydra reinforcements for 3. I don't really want to be taking a lot of extra encounter cards. That will unfortunately do it for Phoenix. Moving over to Scarlet Witch, I'm going to grab another counter so I can exhaust Agatha Harkness to look at the top 3 cards of Scarlet Witch's deck. Deal damage to enemy, so that's a hero action. What do I want here? Oh, Sleeper should have had a tough status card. I'm not with it tonight, obviously. Which also means we can't... I believe it means Scarlet Witch can't attack the... Yeah, Scarlet Witch can't attack the villain as long as the Sleeper is engaged with her. And unfortunately he is, but that also still begs the question of how do we take this bozo out? Question is, do we have enough resources to pay... I think here we're going to need to do that. So I'm actually going to take an energy here. And then Wanda Maximoff is going to flip to Scarlet Witch. And I believe the way I'm ruling this is because we're flipping to a new identity, the exhaustion goes away. Actually, it probably doesn't, because I'm not doing that with Phoenix. The only problem is we've got that tough status card on the sleeper, so we really have no way to get rid of that right now. I definitely don't want to use that. Alright, let's actually use the energy to play a Hex Bolt. So we're going to discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each card discarded this way that has boost icons equal to 0, we deal 2 damage to an enemy. 1, remove 2 threat from a scheme. 2, draw a card. 3 plus, place a status card on a character. So we're going to discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. And we get rid of 2 2s and a 0. So the 0 will deal 2 damage to an enemy, which unfortunately is going to be pinging the tough status card off the sleeper. That feels like a waste. As for the 2 2s, Scarlet will get to draw 2 cards. So that's not totally nothing, it's just mostly nothing. This card... Ooh, this could be useful. Alright, so we're actually going to use Chaos Magic, since we're in hero form again. Play a card from your hand, ignoring its resource cost. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck equal to that card's printed resource cost. I will shape the world as I see fit. Scarlet Witch. Then for Chaos Magic, I'm going to play Molecular Decay from hand, ignoring its cost. We'll deal 5 damage to an enemy. That's going on the sleeper, which Scarlet Witch will also take a damage back in retaliation. And we'll discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discarded this way, deal 1 additional damage to that enemy. So hopefully we can strike pay dirt here. We actually get rid of another 2 so that's 2 more damage on the sleeper. Which actually, speaking of retaliate, we've got the telekinetic shield on Scarlet Witch, so the damage actually goes there. Herpaderp. Now that we've got that sorted out, let's pay... let's go with... After you spend this card, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. Okay, so we'll spend a determination to play out a magic shield. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage, discard magic shield to prevent 3 of it. So since we spent a determination, we get to remove a threat from the main scheme. Then I am going to sit on Warp Reality because I want to make sure I've got that ready in case our friendly neighborhood Shadows of the Past comes out. I need to discard cards from the encounter deck. I did that already. That's how I dealt 2 additional damage to the sleeper. So, I'm paying attention to that, Jester. I did discard the 3 cards from the encounter deck. Which I believe... hold on. That should have been the top 2 cards of the deck. So yeah, that's how I dealt 2 additional damage. It was a Hydro Exo Soldier and a Master Strategist. Only the Master Strategist had boost icons on it, so that's how I was able to deal the 2 additional damage. Okay, and I think we're going to sit tight on... Yeah, I told you I did. Yeah, Chaos Magic. Play a card from your hand. Oh, right, from the top of the deck. Never mind. I did the cards for the Molecular Decay, but I didn't for the Chaos Magic. So we're getting rid of Burning Hunger, Slipping Sanity, and Hydra Flame Soldier. Silly me. I guess I did forget about the discarding cards from the encounter deck part. I am not sorry at all to see both of their obligations go away. Yeah, I got it figured out now. And I think we're going to sit on everything else in hand. So we'll go ahead, ready up. And then we'll move into then we'll get ready for the villain phase. Let's go to Phoenix's hand first. she is going to discard... She's actually going to keep the Relentless Assault. She's going to Actually, she's going to keep both of her cards and draw 3. I was hoping to get a combat resource to pay for the Relentless Assault, but it's not going to happen. As for Scarlet Witch, I'm going to keep her hand and draw 2. Okay. That works there. Now coming into the villain phase, we get 2 threat on the main scheme. And then we reveal the next side scheme. So our next side scheme, once I can get my nails under it. Prison camps. Under Hydra's rule, families are separated and incarcerated without due process. Oh, delightful. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. And we're adding additional threat. That's not great. 6 threat. Okay. First we have Red Skull attacking. Red Skull is attacking for 2+ card against Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch will say, bring it on, when the number of boost icons would be counted. So Scarlet Witch will be taking 2+ boost, which is give the villain a tough status card and another boost card. Yikes. So Red Skull now has a tough card as well. And we reveal another boost card for this attack. So now we find a 0, so we dodge a bullet there. So Scarlet Witch only takes the 2 damage. But Red Skull is tough, so that's a problem there. As for Phoenix, she'll also say bring it on. So she'll be taking 2+, actually 3+. So that was 3 because we have 3 side schemes in play. And actually I want the dials down there. So Phoenix now with 3. That's when a friendly character would take damage. I think she's probably... So actually, I can't get anything straight here. Because Scarlet Witch actually has telekinetic shield on her. So she takes the 3 damage on the shield. And then Phoenix is taking 3+. 0 is 3, which we will save the magic shield for. And then we have the Sleeper attacking Scarlet Witch, but we're going to use the magic... we're going to use the magic shield to cancel that attack out, rather than lose the telekinetic shield. Then we deal out encounter cards. Phoenix up first. She will find Assault. When revealed in hero form, the villain attacks. Oh joy. Which means Phoenix is getting hit for 3+ card. I think she will defend... no, she's not going to defend this time. So 3+... 0 is 3, so Phoenix is down to 2. Which we're probably going to have to flip and heal this turn. As for Scarlet Witch, we find Red Skull's Right Hook. Attached to Red Skull, he gains Retaliate 1. Spend 1 of each resource. In hero form, discard this card. I am your superior in every way. Red Skull. Well, the way this is going, he probably is our superior. Then first player moves over to Scarlet Witch, and we've got, actually, we could cancel that out. Yes, I think we are going to have to cancel that out. So we're going to spend a Turn the Tide to pay for Warp Reality. Hero Interrupt. When an encounter card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel all of its effects and discard it. Discard cards from the top of the deck equal to the number of boost icons on that card. So we discard 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And we've got still our most dangerous cards out there. As for Scarlet Witch, she... Agatha should be unexhausted, by the way. I think we need to try to finish the sleeper off this round. Oh, right, another encounter for the boost. Right. I forgot to deal those out. So Phoenix now has this encounter, Hail Hydra. When revealed, each Hydra minion engaged with a hero makes an attack against that hero. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play engaged with them, and shuffles the encounter deck. So the sleeper will make an attack against Scarlet Witch, which she'll take on the telekinetic shield. But since there's 5 or more damage on there, we discard the telekinetic shield to Phoenix. And then Phoenix has to search for a Hydra minion and put it into play. And we've got Hydra Soldier. We'll take a look at that in a second, but things are starting to go completely sideways on us at this point. Just giving the encounter deck a quick shuffle. Okay, taking a look at the Hydra Soldier. Schemes for 1, attacks for 2, 4 health, guard. Phoenix now can't attack the villain either. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Yowza! Things are just going completely haywire on us here. Well... We could flip Phoenix Force over and go Unleashed. And... We might almost have to at this point, but I think I usually just take it that I can look and choose which minion I get from the deck. I usually just take it as the first one I can find. It's the same thing I do in Arkham when I have to search the deck. And actually, Scarlet Witch should be our first player. Well, this is problematic. Well, Scarlet Witch is going to... What is she going to do? Besides watch this game go haywire on us. She's going to attack the sleeper for 1. Phoenix will be able to kill that on her turn. Then I think she's going to flip. Then we'll exhaust Agatha to look at the top 3 cards of her deck. Getting 1 into hand. 1, 2, 3. I wish I could take 2 of these, but... I'm paying for a Justice card. Alright, I think we are going to take the Power of Justice, which is, of course, double the number of resources when paying for a Justice card. Then she's going to use the Power of Justice for 2 mental resources to play Eros. Ally thwarts for 2, attacks for 1, takes a consequential damage back either way, and has 2 health. Response: after you play him from your hand, confuse a minion for each mental resource you use to pay for him. This will not be easy, but we will save this universe. We will guard this galaxy. Because I was using the wildest 2 mental resources, we'll confuse both of the minions. Which isn't just nothing, it's mostly nothing. We'll have him thwart the Hydra reinforcements for 2, which will deal him a consequential damage back. And I think Scarlet Witch is going to discard her 2 cards to draw 2. Okay, we have to be in hero to use that, which is unfortunate, but no help for that at this point. That's it for Scarlet Witch's turn. As for Phoenix, well, actually, wait. That should have been another health on... That should have been another damage on the sleeper, because we did actually attack with Scarlet... yeah, we did attack with Scarlet Witch. Alright, so Phoenix is going to flip Phoenix Force. So we'll take a look at this. It's not something we're going to be able to use this turn, but we get the Unleashed trait. Phoenix gets -2 thwart and -2 attack. Forced response. After a power counter is placed here, if there are 4 more power counters here, flip. Alright, so we're using that to play 1 by 1. Hero action, attack. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Lots of tricks up these sleeves, ladies and gentlemen. Moon Girl. So Phoenix will use 1 by 1 to defeat the Sleeper, which will get rid of the Sleeper Awakened, but he still goes into the encounter deck, and then we'll deal 2 damage to the Hydra Soldier that's engaged with Phoenix. So that goes away. Then we're going to use... We could just punch the Hydra Soldier here. Actually, let's do this. We're going to pay 3 resources. We're going to pay a Psychic Assault, a Relentless Assault, and a 1 by 1 to play into the fray as an attack. Hero action deals 6 damage to a minion. For each point of excess damage dealt by this attack, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. So that'll take out the Hydra Soldier. And then because we did 4 excess damage, we actually get to remove 4 threat from the main scheme. So that will bring that down. That'll bring that down to 1. We're still not in a real good way here, though. Phoenix is then going to flip and heal for 3, which will put a power counter back on Phoenix Force. Other heal Phoenix. So that'll put a power counter back on Phoenix Force. And as we can see, Phoenix is all out of cards in hand. So we'll reset everything and get ready for the hero phase, or for the villain phase. Scarlet Witch is happy with her hand. She'll draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then Phoenix is all out of cards, so she will draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We can probably work with that. Then we put 3 up because of the acceleration icon here. So 3 back up on the main scheme. He's scheming against both of us. So he'll be scheming for 2 plus card, which means he'll be scheming for 2 plus 3 is 5 threat. Yikes. Remember, we need 22 to lose that one. So 5 threat going up. And then scheming against Phoenix for 2 plus... 2 plus 1 is 3, and the boost would give him a tough status card, but he's already got one. So another 3 threat, which means we're up to 12. And this time, I'll remember the extra encounter card. 3 cards out. So first up for Scarlet Witch, we find... Hydra Exo Soldier. Schemes for 2, attacks for 2, 5 health with toughness. If he comes out as a boost, but he didn't. Careful, team. These guys pack a punch. Captain America. No kidding, they pack a punch. And he's got a tough status card coming in. That's not good at all. And then Phoenix's encounter card. Oh, we forgot to reveal a side scheme for Red Skull. Silly me. Censor the past. Hydra controls all media outlets and uses propaganda to turn the masses against the heroes of the past. When defeated, each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into their deck. With another acceleration icon on it. We get 6 threat on that, and I have a feeling we're just about to get domed here. Let's see what Phoenix's encounter is. Twisted Reality. Incite 1 and attach to a side scheme. Forced. When the attached side scheme is defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. The Infinity Stone gives Red Skull the power to bend reality to his will. We have to attach that to a side scheme, so let's attach that to... We'll attach that to Censor the Past. And then in Site 1, I believe, is to put another threat on the main scheme. So we put another 1 up on the main scheme, which brings that up to 13. And then this will reveal for Wanda, Hydra Flame Soldier. Schemes for 1, attacks for 1 with a forced response, and 4 health. Forced response. After Hydra Flame Soldier makes an undefended attack against you, discard a support you control. Jeez Louise. Alright, so Phoenix becomes our first player once again, and we've got a whole mess of problems on our hands, to put it mildly. Let's see here. So, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to play... I think we need to get Phoenix a meat shield in play, so we're going to pay an energy and a... Actually, do I want to pay a relentless assault, or... Yes, I'm going to pay a relentless assault to play out Cyclops. Thwarts for 2, attacks for 2, takes a consequential damage either way, 3 health. Response. After Cyclops enters play, place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force. Forced Interrupt. When Cyclops leaves play, remove 2 power counters from Phoenix Force. So we'll get the 2 power counters out for Phoenix Force. Then we're going to... Player who defeated this scheme. I think we're going to have Scarlet Witch defeat Hydra Reinforcements on her turn, but I think we got to work on thwarting some of these side schemes. So I think we're going to have Cyclops thwart the prison camps for 2, which will bring that down to 4. Cyclops will take a consequential damage back. We could defeat one of these enemies outright, and we might have to. So I'm going to have Jean Grey flip into Phoenix. Now that we've got a meat shield, we can take a turn in hero form. We're going to spend a power counter from Phoenix Force and a Psychic Assault. We'll use the power counter from Phoenix Force as a wild resource, or as a combat resource to play No Quarter. As a hero action attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy. For each point of excess damage dealt to that enemy by this attack, discard the top card of your deck and add each aggression card discarded this way to your hand. That will defeat the Hydra Flame Soldier on Scarlet Witch, but we don't get to discard anything from the top of the deck. And then that's it for Phoenix's turn. As for Scarlet Witch, what is she doing here? Well, I think she's going to flip into Scarlet Witch. Then, actually, we'll have Eros thwart, and he'll deal the consequential damage back. We'll have him defeat Hydra Reinforcements, which means the player who defeated this scheme gets to discard a non-elite minion. So that'll send the Hydra Exo Soldier scattering for the bin, which is very welcome there. Then, so he's gone. Then, we could discard one of each to get rid of the... Oh, I forgot to... Okay, so let's back up slightly. Let's back up that we hadn't flipped yet. So we'll exhaust Agatha now to look at the top 3 of her deck. We are going to end up with Scarlet Witch flip, with Wanda flipping into Scarlet Witch. So what all do I want to do at this point? After you make a basic thwart, deal damage equal to... We're probably not doing that this turn, so I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to take another Hex Bolt, I think. We saw that earlier, so I won't go through that again. Now we're going to end up with Wanda flipping into Scarlet Witch. She will then make a basic attack just to ping the tough off of Red Skull, and then we'll deal a damage back. Things, like I said, things are very much starting to go haywire on us here. So Red Skull's tough is gone. We're still very much up a creek without a paddle. Let's not kid ourselves here. But we're going to pay Power of Justice and Brains over Brawn to play out another Hex Bolt. So we'll discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. 1, 2, 3. And we're getting rid of a 0, a 1, and a 2, and the 2 is Shadows of the Past, which I'm not sorry about at all. So Hex Bolt. So for the 0, we get to deal 2 damage to an enemy. That will be to Red Skull. Bring him down to 14. Then for the 1, we're going to remove 2 threat from a scheme. That will be Prison Camps. And for the 2, we get to draw a card. Okay. And then we will... do I want to run that back, or do I want to play a Molecular Decay? So these are all gone. We're going to end up with an acceleration token, most likely regardless. Yeah, I think we'll run it back. So we're going to pay an energy, actually, for another Hex Bolt. So we'll discard the top 3. 1, 2... We'll have to shuffle the deck, and we'll get the aforementioned acceleration icon. Not that I think this game is lasting much longer anyway, the rate things are going. Three. We're getting rid of 2 2s and a 1. So we get to draw another 2 cards. And we'll remove 2 threat from another scheme. We'll take it off of Prison Camps. So since Scarlet Witch defeated the scheme, she gets to search what little's left of her deck and discard pile for an ally, put it into play, and shuffle. So that's defeated. This is gone. Let's see if there's anything in our discard pile that we want back. I don't think so. We could take Wiccan. Let me see if she's got any other allies left in her deck. She does, actually. She's going to take Quicksilver. Thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, takes 1 consequential damage either way, 4 health. Action, ready Quicksilver, limit once per phase. I've warned you never to threaten my sister. Except I don't think Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are civil. Actually, they are. Pietro Maximoff, now that I see that. Never mind. They are siblings. Silly me. Scarlet Witch, of course, does not have much of a deck at this point. Alright, so that's gone. Let's see, what to do. We could just have him go thwart heavy, which I think we're going to do. So he's going to He's going to thwart to work on Censor of the Past. He'll take a consequential damage back. Then he's actually going to ready for an action and do it again. So he's going to take ultimately 2 consequential damage. But we'll be down to 2 threat on the side scheme, or on the main scheme. Then we're going to pay Concussive Blow, Stealth Strike, and Pivotal Moment for another Molecular Decay to deal 5 damage to an enemy and the top 2 cards of the deck. So we'll deal that to Red Skull, bringing him down to 9. Scarlet Witch will take Retaliate 1. So that'll bring her down to 6. And then we'll discard the top 2 cards of the deck. For each boost icon, deal 1 additional damage. So that'll be another 2 damage to Red Skull, which will bring him down to 7. Let's see, their brother and sister survived a bomb from Stark Industries. They started evil and aligned with Ultron until they realized he wanted to destroy the world. Isn't that usually what turns some of these villains to the light side? Realizing that these people are insane? Anyway, that will do it for Scarlet Witch. So we'll ready up. And... right. I never did anything with Phoenix, but anywho... Scarlet Witch is happy with her hand. She will draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Phoenix is also happy with her hand. I'm going to grab a drink of my Crystal Light. And she will draw 4. Okay. We're just going to make a little change here. So 3 becomes a 5. We're at 13 threat. He gets 3 at the start of his turn. No more side scheme to worry about. Unless they're supposed to discard to a separate side scheme deck. Because if they're supposed to discard to a separate side scheme deck, that could be a bigger problem. Zola, Red Skull. Nope, doesn't look like they're supposed to discard to a separate deck. Alright, so he's attacking Scarlet Witch. Quicksilver is going to play Meat Shield against this attack, which will be 1 plus card. There's a team-up card for Wanda and Quicksilver you should have in your deck. Except that team-up only works if they're both the main heroes. So because, at least I believe it only works that way. Let me see if I've got a rules insert on Storm. Here we go. Storm. No, apparently not. I think team up only works when they're both the main heroes. Ah, here it is. The team up keyword names 2 characters. To include a card with the team up keyword in your deck, your chosen identity must match one of them. Your chosen identity must match one of the named characters. Additionally, a team up card cannot be played unless both of the named characters, identity or ally. Okay, so it looks like you can use it when the ally's in there, but I think I misunderstood how team up works, and that's why it's not in Wanda's deck. Anywho, Quicksilver is going to act as Meat Shield for Scarlet Witch, so this will be 2 plus, actually this will be 1 plus 2 is 3, so Quicksilver very much goes toodaloo. And I'm not sorry to see Red House in the discard pile again. Similarly, Cyclops will act as Meat Shield for Phoenix. This will be 1 plus card, so 1 plus 3, Cyclops goes bye-bye, as do our 2 power counters from Phoenix Force. Alright, we actually should have 4th threat up there because of the acceleration icon. And then we deal out encounter cards. We're very much so 10, 16, 17. We're very much in danger of having him scheme out and us lose. Scarlet Witch's encounter card. Spreading Lies. When revealed, place 2 threat on each scheme in play. Oh, delightful. So that's another 2 threat on Censor the Past. And we'll trade that in for a 3. So we're at 19 threat on... So we're at 19 threat on New World Hydra. Which means we need to get that under control pronto. Phoenix will find. Nevermind, Spreading Lies. So we play... Actually, this isn't just Nevermind, but it's basically Nevermind. So now we're at 19 threat on... We're at 6 threat on the main scheme and 10, 19, 21. Yeah, we need to be able to get more than... We need to be able to get down to the lower than 19 threat or we're going to lose. Which we probably will have to just dump our resources with Scarlet Witch. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to pay Brains over Brawn, Genius, and Passion for Justice into Speed. Thwarts for 2, attacks for 1, 1 consequential damage either way, 4 health. Response. After Speed thwarts, ready him, limit once per round. Hey, geriatrics, let's get a move on. The Avengers need us. Scarlet Witch is going to tell this guy to clam up. But she is going to thwart with him twice, which will deal 2 consequential damage. But we are going to take 4 threat off the main scheme because we just have to at this point. Then Scarlet Witch is going to thwart for... Is going to thwart the main scheme for another 2, just to try to keep us off the treadmill at this point. So we're down to 15 threat, which means we're not just in peril, we're just mostly in peril. Then she's going to flip over, and we'll exhaust Agatha Harkness. 2, and we need to shuffle, so we're going to deal her an encounter card for that. And 3. I think we'll take another Brains over Brawn. Those go back to the bottom of the deck. And that's it for Scarlet Witch's turn. Yikes, I just realized I can't have Phoenix end on her side as well, because if that happens, then we just are going to lose the game. So I think Phoenix has got to stay on this side as much as I don't want to. I also don't want to waste this telekinetic attack, but I don't think there's any helping it at this point. Unless I just go energy, mental, combat to get rid of the Red Skull's right hook, and I think I will. So I'll pay Chase Them Down, She-Hulk, and Thor to get rid of that right hook. And then she's going to be thwarting for 1 because she's unleashed right now. Yeah. I think any little point of thwart right now is going to be good. So she'll thwart that off. And that's a very uneventful turn. So we'll ready everything up. Wanda is going to discard Stealth Strike and draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Again, not completely garbage, but mostly garbage. Phoenix is going to discard Soul Sisters and draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright, Red Skull gets 3 at the start of his turn. For the threat, actually he gets 2, 3, 4 because of the acceleration icon. So we're up to 10. I'm going to trade that out for a 5. So we're at 18 threat right now on the main scheme. So we need 22 to lose, and he's scheming for 2+ card. He's scheming against Scarlet Witch for 2+. 1 is 3. So we're not just dead again, but we're definitely not looking in real great shape. He's attacking Phoenix for 0+ card. Phoenix is going to say bring it on for 0+0. So that's kind of welcome there. And now we need to duck and counter cards, so hopefully we can work on getting this main scheme under control. So Wanda will find for her first card. This was from shuffling her deck. Oh geez, Shadows of the Past. And of course we don't have our cancel card for that, so we have to reveal her set-aside Nemesis minion and put it into play engaged with her. Reveal her set-aside Nemesis side scheme and put it into play. Shuffle the rest of her set-aside Nemesis set into the encounter deck. If your Nemesis minion doesn't enter the game this way, this card gains Surge. Delightful. So we get to meet Scarlet Witch's Nemesis minion. And we have Luminous. Schemes for 2, attacks for 2, 5 health. Forced response. After Luminous activates against you, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If 2 or more boost icons were discarded this way, deal yourself 1 encounter card, Scarlet Witch's Nemesis. And her side scheme is the next evolution. The High Evolutionary intends to build a god fit for the 21st century. High Evolutionary. Increase the number of boost icons on each encounter card by 1. And that does count as a side scheme, even though it's Scarlet Witch's side scheme. So we get 4 threat on that. Oop. 4 threat there. And then the rest of Scarlet Witch's encounter set goes into the encounter deck. Yeah, it's probably gone completely sideways on us at this point. But we'll see how this goes. It's probably not going to. Here I thought it wasn't going to be too much longer before it was over. And I think that's the thing with Scarlet Witch you have to be careful of, is you're flying through the encounter deck very quickly, which can be a dangerous thing to do. Okay. Then Phoenix, her encounter card. Hydra Jet Trooper makes an immediate attack against her for 2, which she'll take. So she'll go down to 3 on a quick strike. And then Scarlet Witch's second encounter card. This is her actual encounter card for the round. The Sleeper's back again. Joy. We saw him earlier. It took a lot to get rid of him. And he's back again. Wonderful. Okay, so... Deal 7 damage to an enemy. Well... What to do. And of course Luminous is elite as well, so we can't use mind control on that. What we could do, though... So I guess what do I think is more important right now? Probably getting threat off the scheme. Oh yeah, he does get defeated, actually. I didn't see that. When defeated, remove the sleeper from the game. I knew the side scheme left play, but I forgot the... I knew the side scheme left play, but I didn't think the minion went away as well. So this should be another encounter card for Scarlet Witch. She will find Hydra X Soldier, Toughness, Joy Joy. So we still have a minion with Tough on Scarlet Witch. Wonderful. I was just wondering what I did with Phoenix's hand for a second there. I think right now our biggest problem is getting the... Yikes, we've got two schemes that we need to deal with, and we need to keep the main scheme under somewhat control, because if it schemes again... Right now it's at 15... Right now it's at 21 threat, so if we... So that we're going to lose when that activates unless we can push the down button right now. So we're going to use a White Hot Room and a Mental Paralysis to play out Telepathic Trickery to remove 4 threat from a scheme, which will be the main scheme. If you have the Unleashed trait, Stun and Confuse an enemy. They can't see us because I won't let them. Phoenix. Removing 4 threat from the main scheme because none of these have crisis icons. And then we'll Stun and Confuse Luminous. Speed is probably going to be double thwarting again this round. Phoenix will blast the Hydra Jet Trooper down on her. Yes. Because I think she's probably going to stay in... Yeah, we got to stay in hero form as much as we can because that scheme is way too close to scheming off. So yeah, that's going to have to do it for Phoenix. Then coming over to Scarlet Witch, Speed's going to thwart twice. After he thwarts, ready him, so we're going to remove 4 threat from the scheme. That will bring it down to 13, but that will get rid of Speed. Which is unfortunate, but hopefully his 4th threat that he was able to remove will not be in vain. Then we'll exhaust Agatha to look at the top 3. 1, 2, 3. And once again, we're going to take Molecular Decay. Then Wanda is going to flip to Scarlet Witch. She's going to ping the tough status off the Hydra Exo Soldier. Then she's going to Chaos Magic once again for a Molecular Decay to deal 5 damage to the Hydra X Soldier now that we pinged it off. So Chaos Magic discards the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, which is 1, 2, 3. That's to pay the cost of the Molecular Decay. And then we deal 5 damage to Hydra X Soldier and discard the top 2 cards of the deck for each icon discarded this way, which is all of 1 card, so 1 additional damage would be done, but the Hydra X Soldier is defeated. Then turning our attention back to Luminous, we are going to pay a Brains over Brawn to play the Magic Shield again. Then we're going to... Thwarton removes all threat from a scheme, which we're probably not near doing that. No, actually, I forgot about the next evolution, which increases the number of boost icons on each encounter card. So we do need to keep an eye on that. Which means Scarlet Witch and Phoenix probably should have each taken a damage, but I'm not going to go back and retcon that right now. So now he's attacking for 2+ card, but I don't think we can help that. So I think we'll just go ahead and ready up. Phoenix is going to discard Mind Control and draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll be taking an encounter card soon enough. Alright, Scarlet Witch is going to draw, she's going to discard at least 1, I think 2, and draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright. We get 4 at the start of his turn, which brings us back up to 10, 17. So he's going to be attacking both of us. Phoenix is going to say bring it on because she's got Rise from the Ashes. 2+ card. 2 plus 3 actually is 5. So that will remove Rise from the Ashes from the game and reset Phoenix back to 9 health. Alright, Scarlet Witch is going to not defend, so she's taking 2+. 3 is 5. We'll discard the Magic Shield to cancel 3 of that damage, so she will only take 2. Bringing her down to 4. And then Luminous tries to attack, but she's confused. Or she's stunned, so that gets rid of that. We don't have any acceleration cards in play. So now we deal in counter cards. Phoenix is our first player. First up, she will find Red Skull's Luger, piercing and ranged, delightful. And then for Scarlet Witch, Magical Suspension. Attached to your identity, each card you play costs 1 additional resource. Hero action, discard, exhaust your hero to discard this card. Fun, fun. Scarlet Witch becomes our first player once again. Now we need to try to deal with Luminous somehow. We're going to pay 2 resources. We're going to pay both of our Turn the Tides to play Zone of Silence. We're going to choose a scheme and discard up to 4 cards from the top of my deck. Remove a threat for each scheme, or for each, what's the word I want? For each card discarded this way. So we're going to choose, let's choose the next evolution, and we'll discard 4 cards from the top of her deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which we're losing 2 Hex Bolts. That kind of hurts. But we'll get rid of the next evolution. That's rather unfortunate, but no help for that. Then we're going to exhaust. We're going to exhaust Scarlet Witch to discard Suspension, Magical Suspension. Or are we? What can Phoenix do in terms of thwarting this round? Not a whole lot. Actually, we can stop him from, let's see, we're at 17. We're going to be going up to 21 threat this round. We cannot afford to flip here. Unless we can confuse him first, which Phoenix can do. Now the question is, will she? I think she's going to thwart for 3. Get 3 threat off the main scheme to try to keep that from scheming out. And then I'm looking at Phoenix's hand already, planning her turn out. Then that will end her turn. Coming back over to Phoenix, she is going to have to stop him from scheming this turn, so she's going to play the Power of Aggression to play Psychic Assault. Play only if your identity has the Psionic trait, and Phoenix does. deal 3 damage to an enemy and confuse that enemy. So that will be Red Skull that we're dealing 3 damage to. And confusing. Then she doesn't need to flip because she just flipped and healed. Or she just healed. She's going to attack for another 3. We're actually going to be getting ready to flip Red Skull over next round. So we're taking 1+ card at this point, which I think is a lot more manageable. So we'll go ahead and ready up. We've got Luminous in play too. I completely forgot about her. Oh well, a little bit late to worry about that now. She will discard nothing and draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we should be able to deal with her, assuming we survive. Phoenix will discard 1 and draw 3. She was already taking an encounter card this round anyway. We are not in a great spot here. Four, 5. Okay. We might be able to survive this, but I'm not betting on it. Alright, so he gets 4 at the start of his turn. He gets 4 at the start of the phase, which brings him up to 18 threat. We're still very much in a spot where we could very easily scheme out depending on the encounter cards. So he's attacking for 2+ card right now. Scarlet Witch will have to defend for 2. So 2+. 0 is 2, so that cancels out, and I'm not sorry to see Mass Chaos go away. Phoenix is also getting attacked for 2+ card. She will not defend. So 2+. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost. Oh, that's delightful. Yes, we are definitely barely hanging on. So we still have another boost card, which is a 0. So Phoenix just takes 2 damage. And then we have encounter cards. Phoenix has 2 coming from having to shuffle her deck. Scarlet Witch's encounter. There's a Hydra Flame Soldier. We saw this earlier. Oh, Luminous should have also attacked. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch defended from that. She can't defend from Luminous, so she takes 2 damage. Okay, we've got to deal with some of these minions on Scarlet Witch. And then Phoenix's first encounter card is Advance. The villain schemes, so we probably just lose here. So we're scheming for 2+ card. We're scheming for 2+. Villain gets a tough status and another boost card. So still 2+. 3, that's 5 threat. That'll do it. So that'll bring us up to 23 threat. And he has completed New World Hydra, and we lose the game. Yowza, that was pretty brutal. But that will do it for this playthrough of Marvel Champions. Ouch! Still do enjoy this one, and I like it as a one-shot. I'm still not sure how much I like streaming this. It seemed like the layout actually worked pretty well for streaming this. But I tend to like being able to focus on each player area a little bit more. But it actually seemed like it worked out in the grand scheme of things. I'm getting rambly a little bit. Mystical Munchies went up earlier this afternoon. I know it was a very difficult recipe. As far as what's coming up on the channel, Sunday we're playing game number 8 on my Tack Up Wargaming list as we commemorate the start of World War II by playing Tiger Leader from DVG. Wednesday we're in the Leader series again but this time we're dipping under the waves as we play U-Boat Leader. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.